गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः. So we are in Jnaneshwari chapter 2 verse number 62. We are seeing the Sthita Prajna Lakshana, and in the previous verse Tani Sarvani Sanyamya Yukta Asita Matparaha. ये कर लिया ना हमने? या वशे ही यस्य इंद्रियाणि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता. He is established in the prajna, in the knowledge, who vashehi yasyendriyani, he who has controlled his senses, brought his senses under his control. And how he has brought his senses under control? Tani sarvani sanyamya. He is maintaining a sanyam. He is maintaining a equipoise. He is maintaining a balanced mind. He is maintaining a non-reactionary attitude. He is maintaining a udasin bhav. He is maintaining a indifferent attitude towards. He is maintaining a poise. All this means sanyamya. Yukta asitam. And you find different ways to do this. Because one way is not working all the time. So you have to find different ways, or whichever way it is possible. But what is the goal? You have to be in the poise, and that is the way to overcome. And what is that poise? How will that poise come about? On one hand, it is a non-reactionary attitude. How will that come about? When you are committed to the truth, when you are attentive of the truth, of the conscious principle. And so last week we explained to you this verse. So control the senses, root yourself in the sense, in the self, and such a person remains firmly rooted. If you think only about the self and don't control your senses, हाँ होगा तो होगा, प्रभु इच्छा, ये वो, तकिया कलाम अच्छा है. To say it is easy, whatever Lord wish, but you don't believe it because your actions don't show that. I have to do this, I have to achieve that, I have to do this. If I don't pay the bills, who will? Then everything should be. So you're living a hypocritical life. So what is that? When we are engaging with the outside world, control your senses, don't get excited, don't at all levels. And second, and how do you bring that about? By continuous contemplation of the self. This way alone a person remains tasya prajna pratishtita. This is the way he remains steady and if दरवाजा बंद करके आना. I think it's open. And if we are not able to do this by ourselves, then seek a help of someone. Seek help of this satsang. Seek a company of some masters. That's the way. There's nothing wrong. Everything you don't have to do yourself. You didn't study ABCD by yourself. You took the help of a book. Your parents taught you 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4. Physics, chemistry, mathematics. You took help of a teacher. You went. You are dedicated that time. But when it comes to spirituality, I am going to do it myself and keep breaking your head till, and after 20, 30, 40 years, you realize you have been knocking on the wrong door. बहुतों का होता है, बहुतों का होता है. So, find a teacher, go to a satsang, find some help somewhere. Wherever you go, intuitively, you be very clear of your intention. With the right attitude, you go there. Help will come. Nature is always ready to help you. And thus, we come to the 62nd verse. 62nd and 63rd, they go together. We'll chant again together and then we'll look at it. ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः संगस्तेषूपजायते संगस्तेषूपजायते संगात् संजायते कामः संजायते कामः कामात् क्रोधोऽभिजायते कामात् क्रोधोऽभिजायते क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. Together, ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः संगस्तेषूपजायते संगात् संजायते कामः कामात् क्रोधोऽभिजायते क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. So here he says, Jnaneshwari Maharaj says, when a person broods over the objects of sense, attachment to them grows in him. From attachment springs desire, from desire anger, and from anger, 63rd verse, krodhat bhavati sammohaha, from anger arises delusion. Delusion means forgetfulness, non-apprehension, and from that delusion comes about confused memory. You start, अरे last time कुछ नहीं हुआ था, चलो फिर से गुस्सा. And from that confused memory or doubtful memory, we are not able to practice the correct reason, meaning we lose the discrimination of what is right and wrong in life, and that is called as the fall of man. This two verses together, they are called the ladder of fall. And let's see what Jnaneshwari Maharaj says here. जरी हृदयी विषय स्मरति तरी निसंगा ही आपजे संगति संगे प्रगटे मूर्ति अभिलाषाची जेथ कामू उपजला तेथ क्रोधू आधीची आला क्रोधी असे ठेविला सम्मोह जाणे सम्मोहा झालिया व्यक्ती तरी नाशू पावे स्मृती चढवा ते ज्योती आहत जैसी का astamaani nishi, jaisi surya te jate grasi, taisi dasha smriti भ्रंशी प्राणियांसी मग अज्ञानांध केवळ तेणे आपलविजे सकळ तेथ बुद्धी होय व्याकुळ हृदया माझी. We'll just do it till here and we'll look at the rest afterwards. Here he says, the mere recollection of sense object gives rise to attachment in a disinterested person, and with attachment, desire makes its appearance. From frustrated desire springs anger, and from anger, delusion, and recollection is impaired by delusion, as the flame is extinguished by the wind. By the wind. Just as a sunset night swallows daylight, such is the state of a person who is deprived of recollection. And so we'll look at it till here. And so here what is he saying? That dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. This is the ladder of fall, as we said. And here, he who is constantly thinking of some object or the other. Object can be a person, object can be an object, thing, object can be space, time, objectivity, object can be past or future, object can be a phobia or a fear, or about your anxiousness, some emotion, some conviction. It can be anything that you can think about is an object. And when you think more than required, so here, dhyayato vishayan punsa, when you again and again think about it, sangasteshu pa jayate, you develop attachment towards it. And such people, when they come, because, you just ask them, how are you? Oh, I got pain here. Oh, I fell down there. Oh, because they have thought about it, and that is the thought. Why can't you say I am on the top of the world? Why can't you say everything is good and put that pain, put that hurt, put that ill health? You know it is there. Every time you are told, why can't you keep it on the bayside? Why you have to repeat it every time someone asks you? Oh, thank God. Immediately gather attention from others. See? No, nothing. If it is there, it is there. Everyone can see it. But we don't have to repeat it. See, the more we give, constantly remember, think about something, good or bad or ugly, we will develop attachment to it. That is the rule. See? Sangasteshu pajayate. The more we think, the less we think, less attachment. The more we think, more attachment. Constantly think, you cannot live without that particular object, person or object. And whenever our mind entertains a sankalp, a thought of any object, when it is entertaining it again, automatically what is the next step? Sangat sanjayate kamaha. When you entertain that thought, when entertain that attachment, we are not talking about desire here. We are talking about attachment. Desire will automatically arise. So it's not desire first and then attachment. No, first attachment, then desire. Sangat sanjayate kamaha, kamat krodho bhijayate. So what is this continuous attachment? It is called raga. And you can be attached to attachment and you can be attached to detachment also. You can be attached to goodness also, you can be attached to badness also. You can be attached to your anger also. People are attached to their hypocrisy or their jealousy also. I'm so jealous of you, as if it's a good thing to say. They say it with such style. Takiya kalam. They don't realize how much damage they are doing to themselves. When I
What's the difference between attachment and desire?
अभी तो बताया. The mantra is telling you. When you think about something, it leads to attachment. It's nothing to do with you.
Okay.
This is how the mind functions.
Okay.
Nothing to do with you. The mind functions like this. When it keeps thinking about something, it gets attached to it. Then if you don't attach it, it desires it. If that object is not there, then it will desire it. सामने वाली खिड़की में एक चांद सा टुकड़ा रहता है. याद है वो गाना? वो कहाँ छुप छुप के देखता था. Why? Because continuous engagement with that girl, and he started having attachment. Desire hasn't come yet, but attachment is there. I want to see that beautiful face again. I want to feel that silk cloth again. What was that material? What was this? What was that? I want to see. See? Want comes later, but initially it is once or twice. And it is not that attachments. You watch when you are when you are going out somewhere, when you are listening here, when if it gets hot here or cold here, or when hunger comes, with what intensity you interact with that hunger. With what intensity you give attention to that hunger. Dhyayato vishayan punsa. What was the vishaya? Hunger. What did you do? Gave attention to it. With what intensity? That will determine how entrenched is the attachment to that. How deep is the attachment to that. Then automatically, first time it's okay. Next time it happens, immediately the desire, I must eat something now. And some people, they can't. भूख लगती है तो गुस्सा आ जाता है उनको अगर खाना नहीं मिला तो. Isn't it? Similarly, I told you once, when I was young, mom's brother brought me a Viewmaster. You used to put a spool inside and you keep click, 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 click. One spool was, it had 8 or 10 photographs, negatives. And one was for Austria, one was for Sweden, one was for Holland, one was for Switzerland, one was for France, one was for Great Britain. As I 7-8 countries. And I used to enjoy, it was so crystal clear. Believe me or not, every photograph in that place, in that spool, I have visited. Unconsciously, but I have gone there. So because I interacted with it very intensely. As a child, where do I have the capacity or the means to go anywhere? But I got attached. Somewhere in the subconscious it went in because I interacted with it intensely. And as time went by, it got manifested. See? So love is nothing. I like that girl, I want to get married. It is continuous engagement with that girl, then it leads to attachment to that girl or boy, and then a desire for that girl or the boy, and after that what?
Fall of ladder.
Fall. You are saying it. when an object is appearing in front of us, let's see what else is. When an object is coming in front of us, are we looking at it from all different angles and points of view, or are we looking at only this way, and that's the way? Then phobia, then attachment, isn't it? So here Jnaneshwari Maharaj says, we continue reading the other few. कहाँ पे था? 25. जैसे जात्यंधा पड़नी पावे मगते काकुड़ती से राधावे तैसे बुद्धि सी होती भवे धनुर्धरा ऐसा स्मृति भ्रंशु घड़े मग सर्वथा बुद्धि अवघड़े ते समूळ हे उपडे ज्ञान जात चैतन्याच्या भ्रंशी शरीरादशा जैसी तैसे पुरुषा बुद्धिनाशी होय देखै म्हणवनी आईके अर्जुना जैसा विस्फुल्लिंग लागे इंधना मग तो प्रौढ झालिया त्रिभुवना पुरोषके तैसे विषयांचे ध्यान जरी विषाये वाहे मन तरी व्यसने हे पतन गिंसित पावे. He says, when his recollection is impaired by illusion, delusion we saw, and so what was that? The next stage, dhyayato vishayan punsa sangasteshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho vijayate. When the desire is not fulfilled, what happens? Anger happens. Anger comes. To whom? Where does it get? Mind is not able to get what it wants. It was attached to something. Not you, the mind. The mind was attached to something. That is how it is programmed. And it was not available. So immediately anger comes. Chidchidapan, irritation, anger. And when anger comes, what happens? We lose. Krodhat bhavati. Krodhat bhavati sammoha. Sammoha is delusion, hypnosis, as if someone has taken over you. When anger comes, a good looking person also looks ugly, isn't it? Looks asuric, rakshasi. We give it a good name, Kali, Karali, Chandi Devi, all that. Or देखो नरसिम्हा अवतार आ गया. वो नरसिम्हा नहीं है. नरसिम्हा भगवान was different. This is your foolishness that is coming out. That is not Narasimha avatar. That is not Durga Mata or Kali. This is your desire coming out. But it is ugly. And in that anger, when it takes the avesh, as if it takes you over, the anger takes you over, and immediately with that, you forget what are the consequences of anger. And that is sammoha. Anger leads to forgetfulness, leads to delusion. And that's what is here it says, recollection is impaired by delusion as the flame is extinguished by the wind. So the wind of anger blows away the recollection of memory. Last time when I got angry, I threw the fridge out of the window. This time you feel, oh, it's normal, I'm not going to get angry. Oh, you're not getting angry. No, I'm not getting angry. No, I'm not getting angry. And this time TV goes out. when his reason, and then what just as at sunset night swallows daylight, such is the state of a person who is deprived of recollection. Recollection is delusion leads to what is that word? Sammohat smriti vibhramaha. Sammoha is delusion, forgetfulness, ignorance. In that, as a result, what is smriti vibhramaha? We are not able to remember anything. We are not able to recollect anything. We are not able to all sense leaves us. Let's put it that way. All sense leaves us. And then smriti bhramshad, once the smriti, that is memory, when bhramshad, it is destroyed, it is not able, you are not able to recollect. Buddhinashaha. Buddhinashat pranashyati. Buddhinashaha, the what is right and wrong, all that sense of discrimination, that is lost. And here it says, just like the daylight is taken over, swallowed by the night, as if when the sun sets, all the daylight, it looks like that. It's never like that, but it seems that you can put it that sun is Suryast ho gaya hai, or you can say the night is coming and swallowing the light. Just like the light is coming and swallowing the darkness in the morning, at night, evening, now it is starting. Same way, smriti bhramshad buddhinashaha. So when the memory goes away, when the memory, the recollection goes away, and with that comes, it's like darkness on your mind. The veil has been pulled over. Now you are not able to see what is right and wrong. Your intellect is not able to function because it has been clouded. Just like the sun is not able to, you are able to see the light. In that light of the sun only you are seeing the clouds. But you can't see the sun. You can't access your intellect. You're seeing it, but you can't access it. Hey. And as a result, when this reason becomes blinded by the darkness of ignorance, it produces confused understanding. What is confused understanding? It is, nothing is very clear. The attention is also there, the attachment is also there, the desire is also there, the loss of memory is also there, the recollection is also not there. You know, sometimes it comes, I know what that word means, but it's just there on the tip of my tongue, but I can't get it. I know it is there, but you can't. क्या बोलोगे उसको? बुद्धू ही बोलोगे. When you are in front of a mirror and it is steamy, you know it is your face, but you are looking very ugly in the mirror, in the reflection. Why? There is a covering. You can't see yourself clearly. Exactly the same way. You can't see yourself clearly in your mind, because mind is what? It's a reflection of the self only. You can't see yourself clearly. Everything is clouded. Everything is unclear, confused. Is this me? Is this anger me? Is this what is happening to me? Why am I having loss of memory? Why can't I remember? Why can't I understand things the way I used to before? You are yourself to be blamed. But this dialogue goes inside. With the loss of when his reason becomes blinded by the darkness of ignorance, it produces confused understanding. As a person blind from birth runs helter and skelter, so delusion overtakes his delusion overtakes his understanding. With the loss of recollection, his intellect becomes muddled, and all his knowledge melts into thin air. Whatever you had, Just like in deep sleep, you don't know whether you are a man, woman, alive or dead, nothing you know. A person who is taken over by a ghost also doesn't know anything. Similarly, a person who is under the clutches of this ladder of fall, when he loses his memory, when he loses his recollection, in that confused mind, he is as good as dead. He is not good for anything. Because he does not know what right from wrong. Therefore, O Arjuna, as a spark fallen on firewood suffices to consume all the three worlds, so even if the mind perchance broods over the sense objects, doom seeks him out and overtakes him. See how strongly Jnaneshwar Maharaj is putting it in his commentary. Just like a dry firewood, only one spark is required, or that camphor. One spark, and it consumes the whole camphor or the wood, isn't it? Exactly same way. Exactly same way. What is the spark here? Dhyayato is the spark. Dhyayato is the spark. And immediately you are, you just roll down the ladder of fall uncontrollably. So don't brood over objects. If you see a magazine, oh, I think this lip gloss looks very nice, you will end up buying it, even if you don't need it. Oh, this jacket and shoe is very nice, you will end up buying it. You think you go for window shopping, you come back with things that you don't want. There's a person in Sydney. His wife shows me the garage is full of things that she doesn't want. She says he doesn't allow me to go and do shopping. And he keeps buying. If anything is on sale, he brings it. Wife should know. She is running the kitchen. What do you know? But he will buy. And everything is brand new lying in the garage. Car doesn't sit in the garage. All these sale items are in the garage. Arey yaar. Just because it is on sale, you have to buy it, or because you liked it, you have to buy it. 3 coffee machines, pressure cookers. Next time I said, I'm taking home some. So in this way, see, when dhyayato vishayan punsa, when desire comes, two things can happen. Either the desire is fulfilled or it is not fulfilled. If it is fulfilled, what happens to the desire? It becomes greed. And greed cannot be satisfied. And when greed is not satisfied, or whatever you are greedy for, anyone or anything that comes as an obstacle in that greed, you will have resentment and anger towards that thing or person. If your desire is not satisfied, again you will have the same reaction to that person. See? So, kamat krodho bhijayate. And in this way, more intense is the desire, more intense will be the greed, more intense will be the anger. Stronger the desire, more strong will be equally strong will be the anger also, if it is not satisfied. So, anger management. What is anger management? Reduce your desires. Automatically anger will be reduced. How do you reduce your desire? Reduce your attachments. How do you reduce your attachments? Don't think about objects and beings, or memories, or past or future. Don't brood over them. घर में कोई नहीं है, बैठे हुए हैं. इतना अच्छा होता था ना जब हम, when we were young, we could move around. Now we can't even. You turn this way, this hurts. That way, that hurts. What will happen to children today? When we were climbing on the trees, these fellows, they sit on the sofa and only look at the phone screen. What will happen to the next generation? अबे पागल है क्या यार? Have you, someone has given you the responsibility for the next generation? No. Let them go to dogs. He who produced them, he will take care of them. But you are spoiling your mind by thinking about their future. You are not thinking about your future. That you are going to dogs yourself by thinking about their future. अबे ये पागलपंती की भी हद होती है. So what is anger? Anger is whenever or whatever or whoever blocks the flow of happiness within us. That flow, dam ban jata hai na, dhadam, 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 that creates the anger. We are of the nature of Satchidananda. Continuously the joy is pouring out, wants to pour out. Continuously. That is our nature. Continuously the vision wants to see. You cannot stop that. Similarly, the joy, which is the nature of the Atma, it's continuously flowing through. It cannot but do that. Then we curb or we put a roadblock on it. We build a dam on it. How? Dhyayato vishayan pumsa. We don't allow it to flow continuously by building a dam of attachment, which leads to desire, desire leads to anger, and so on. देखो, बचाओ अपने आप को. Understand this and catch yourself whenever you are, if at all it is happening to you, then catch yourself. And what is karma? What is desire? Desire is that feeling where we feel, if I do that, I will be happy. If I get that, I will be happy. When I get the new phone, then I'll be happy. When I see that movie, then I'll be happy. When your happiness has become dependent, enslaved by some object, and your wish is, when I get that, then alone I will be happy. You are already postponing your happiness. You have put your happiness into the pocket of that particular object. There can be no better fool than you. Simple. देखो. क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः, सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः, स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो, बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. When we become angry, when we become greedy, at that time our sense of right and wrong is as if switched off. We are not available to it. And such a person who is greedy, he justifies everything to show that he is right. He is right. That his desire, I am doing it for the benefit of the next generation. It's a desire. I am doing it for the benefit of the community. It is a desire. But what is wrong if I do it for God? It is a desire. We are not saying it is right. If it is for God, good. But then you transcend that also. I am controlling my senses. Oh, someone will say, oh, that is body identification. You are thinking of your senses. But it is better than getting attached to something else in the world. Better be attached to control of your senses. But don't stay there and make a show of it. Like that yogi with the hand up in Kumbh Mela. He is still living in Haridwar. Because he became famous, now ashram is also there. See? When we start justifying our greed, when we start justifying our desires, that we are doing it for the sake of the humanity, the world, the community, the family, then we are not in tune. Where is our attention? Outwards. What are you missing? Connection with the consciousness that you are. And when you lose connection with who you are, you lose the balance in life. You lose the balance in life. ये खाऊं कि वो खाऊं? Should I buy this shoe or should I buy that shoe? Should I buy this dress or should I buy that dress? You lose the balance. Then we don't understand what we have to do and what we don't have to do. Because we are at the mercy of the desire. It's taking us on its own ride. So in this way, buddhi nashat, smriti bhranshat buddhi nashaha. Bhransha is the destruction, or it's to be forgotten, or it is not. When it is required to be remembered, then we are not able to remember it. It is that way. That is bhransha. Smriti bhranshat. When we are chanting some mantras and suddenly it happens to me also, that mantra is dhyayato vishayan. What happens after that? I know it's on the tip of my tongue. What is it? This is bhransha. Why? Memory is not clicking in when required. Why it is not clicking in? Because you are not attentive. Because you are distracted. Maybe you want to teach more than learn. Correct or not? When parents scold their children, it is this reason only. Therefore, buddhi nashat pranashati. And what is this buddhi? Buddhi is that where the convictions are. And convictions make your character. Who you are is a collection of your convictions about yourself, about your whatever your surroundings are, whatever your interaction with the world is. Every one of you have your own way of convincing how or what is your place in this world with respect to the world. World is the same. Just like this room is the same. But how he is looking at the room, how she is looking at the room, how each one of you is looking at the room is totally different, isn't it? Different angle of approach. So your convictions are different. And when he says that the room looks like this and you say the room looks like this and I say that we are all right and we are all wrong. Isn't it? So we are not taking, when we are so attached, we are not able to see. Buddhi nasha, we are not able to see the big picture because we are under the influence of ignorance. When we are attached, we are under the influence, all the steps, they are destroying your mind completely. You can't see the clear picture of where you are or who you are or what the world is. And all the convictions put together is your personality. If your convictions themselves are wrong, then who can help you? Then what is to be done? Undo the whole ladder of all, start climbing back up. stop your intellect from getting unsure. How? Stop smriti bhramshad. Let there be recollection of memory. Why am I not remembering? Oh, because loss of memory. Why loss of memory? Because you have anger. Why loss of anger? Because you have desire. Why desire? Because you have attachment. Why attachment? Because you gave undue importance to something which was not important. Catch yourself and reclaim the healthy mind. The buddhi nashat pranashyati, and therefore a person whose intellect is corrupted, a person who does not know what is right and wrong, a person who is right and wrong, such a person is unqualified to live life. And who is a human being? He who is the master of his mind is a human being. The one who is a slave of his own mind, he is worse than an animal. So decide, you want to be an animal, you want to be a human being. And if you are not clear, if you don't know what is right and wrong, you cannot achieve anything in life. And if you have achieved something in life, good. But don't sing accolades of that I have achieved this, I have achieved that. The more the success, the more humble person should be. And where does that humbleness come from? Otherwise it will lead to arrogance. Then where does that humbleness come from? From gratefulness that everything the Lord has provided. Nothing is mine. And the person who's lost the sense of right and wrong, then he digs his own grave while living. He doesn't have to die because he is a living dead. He is a living dead. And we all have come across some person in our life like that. Let's not become like that. And usually, in the old age, many people become like that. Why? No healthy mind. Because wrong interactions. Because living only a desire-oriented life, living an arrogant life. Remember the Eshanas, Putreshna, Vitteshna and Lokeshna. And Lokeshna. Name and fame also is a big virus. Wealth is also a big virus. Nothing wrong with it. Let it be in your life. But never allow it to corrupt your mind. Mind can remain in the right mode, in the right spirit. How? By remembrance of the Lord, by continuous satsang, by expressing gratefulness to the Lord. If you want to have desire for Lord, have desire for the self, then that will be healthy. So in the end, the root of all problems is when our attention is on the object. When our attention is on an object, now don't say, oh, my attention is not an object, it's on my grandchild. That object, grandchild is also an object. It's on my patients, that also is an object. It's on the scriptures, that is also an object. Choose wisely. So we are studying scriptures only to drop them eventually. Remember yesterday, para and apara vidya. Now we are doing apara, but what did para say? No intermediary in between. What is the yesterday? How did the apara vidya begin? It began with the three or the four Vedas and the shadangas, the Upavedas. All of them constitute apara vidya. And what is apara? That is worthy to be rejected. और यार स्क्रिप्चर्स भी छोड़ देंगे तो फिर क्या करेंगे? हाँ, सोचो. Now you start thinking. Continuing. So these were the 8 steps through which the ladder of fall was told. And now in the 64th verse, the cause of moksha. Ragadveshaviyuktaistu Vishayanindriyaishcharan Atmavashyaividheyatma prasadamadighachati. He says, but if a self-possessed person enjoys the sense objects without desire and hatred, keeps his senses under control, he attains to serenity. He attains to contentment. So what I did just told you, there is nothing wrong with having name, fame, wealth, everything, children, but without attachment. How it has to be practiced, that you have to work it out. The principles are given to you. Now you find out how. In what should be your attitude. We'll read the Bhashya, Jnaneshwari. Manauni Vishaya he Aghave Sarvatha Manauni Sandave Magaraga Dvesha Swabhave Nashatila Partha Anikahi Eka Zari Nashale Raga Dvesha Tari Indriya Vishayi Badhaka Ramata Nahi जैसा सूर्य आकाशगतु रश्मि करे जगाते स्पर्शतु तरी संगदोषे कायलिंपतु तेथिचेनी तैसा इंद्रियार्थी उदासीन आत्मरसेची निर्भिन्न जो काम क्रोध विहीन होनी असे तरी विषयातया काही आपण पे वाचूनी नाही मग विषय कवण रकाई बाधितील कवणा जरी उदकी उदक बुडिजे का अग्नी आगी पोळिजे तरी विषय संगे आपलविजे परिपूर्ण तो ऐसा आपणची केवळू होऊनी असे निखळू तयाची प्रज्ञा अचळू निभ्रांतमानी. He says, therefore, you should expel all thoughts of sense objects from your mind. See, why should I do it? Then what's the point of living? But tell me, just analyze your life, analyze your 124 hours. When are you the happiest? When you are in sleep. What is the condition of sleep? When no sense objects are there in your mind. When there is no desire in your mind. When there are no convictions in your mind. Space, time of objectivity has left your mind. Birth and you are living or not living has left your mind. Your mind is completely zero. That's what he's saying. So what's wrong? Why can't we appreciate that? And why can't we find a way that somehow I have to develop an approach by which 24/7 I remain in that state where nothing, no object is able to entice me, no object is able to get a reaction from me, no object is able to bring a desire in me or attachment in me. For that, what is the requirement? Be a witness. Be a witness. That's all. Be the Sakshi. Therefore, you should expel all thoughts of sense objects from your mind so that passion and hatred are stamped out. So, that is where, when it says this type of language, then we see initially yama, niyama, asana, pranayam. Till here, willful activity is suggested. And at least come to some silence in your mind. When you come to a silence in your mind, then you can go ahead. But when you are still swimming in the world only and trying to, oh, should I study Bhagavad Gita? Should I study Upanishad? Should I study Ramayana? इसी में फंसे रहे तो कहीं आगे कहाँ निकलोगे तुम? You cannot go ahead. You can go ahead only when the mind has become quiet. Then the window to something transcendental opens up. But we are you look around, maybe you look at your own mind, we are only swimming here only. Just like we are in the house only, but we go from one room to the other. And thinking, oh, ये मेरा रूम है, ये मेरा रूम है, ये मेरा ड्राइंग रूम है, ये मेरा कितना क्लीन टॉयलेट है, ये मेरा, but you're trapped in the walls. Same way, we are trapped in the senses. We are trapped in the emotions. We are trapped in the convictions. We are trapped in scriptures. We are trapped in objectivity. We have to break that trap. And the only way to break that trap is by shifting your attention to who is knowing that there is a trap. See? So when we do Kundalini or Kriya Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga, all these, or Nam Japa also, why we are asking you to chant loudly or do Yama Niyama or Surya Namaskar, etc. So that by doing all that, you come to some silence in your mind. That will bring it about. If you do it diligently, it will bring it about. And in that silence mind, some greater possibility will reveal itself. Or you become available to something higher. But when you are swimming here only in this world, in the house, and thinking, my home is God's place, there is a whole world outside. Same way, we are moving around in the mind only, but there is a greater truth waiting to be discovered, to be realized. Then, even if the senses indulge in sense objects, they would cause no harm. If you are not attached, if your senses are in control, if your senses are in your control, when you are udasina towards them, when you are indifferent towards the senses, then even if those senses are seen to be indulgent by other people, that is their conclusion, not your decision. That is not your experience. What is your experience? I am detached, I am udasin, I am indifferent to whatever is taking place. But then senses are eyes are open, they will see something. Hunger will come, you will eat something. Oh, see, he is attached. No, the mind out of its program said it. You are not. If you give it, give it. If you don't give it, who cares? See? That's what is said here. Then this is the stage of pratyahar. This is the stage of Anahat Chakra. See? From here, when you come to this point, or when you come to, what do you call? Pratyahar, you can fall down again. No, that is, we are not saying. But that is the first stage you realize that you don't have to live for securing your life. You don't have to live for Swadhisthana, to live, satisfy your desires. And you don't have to, Manipur, you don't have to live for accumulation of things and beings to prop yourself up. You come to realize here, hey, I am detached. That feeling, distinct feeling comes. Same way in Pratyahar also, the same thing happens. Then such a person, his eyes are open, his ears are open, his mouth is open, nose is open, skin is there, all the various smells are going on, foods are coming, experiences are going on, but he is not attached to any one of them. Such is his disposition. It is almost like when you are so tired during the day and you are ready to go to sleep and someone says, let's go for an ice cream. Abhay chhod yaar, jana mere ko bhi neend aa rahi hai. Huh? Swamiji, tiramisu. Forget it, I don't want. Let's go to sleep. You love it so much. No, I love the sleep more. It becomes a game within you to maintain that poise, to maintain that alertness, not to succumb to the senses or the sense objects. It becomes a game. Every moment, it's so heightened awareness. And that awareness is not of the objects, that awareness is of the conscious principle, because of which this control is happening. You are not bringing it about, it's happening. You are not making the world go out of your mind. You are only intensely engaged with sleep. Mind becomes empty. Same thing here also. Pratyahar is a stage where automatically, in Pratyahar they are not talking about you are engaged with the self. No, you are not. You are just, some ways you have somehow come to control your senses and mind. Even they would cause no harm. Even as the sun touching the world with his rays does not become tainted by that contact, so a person remains indifferent to the sense objects when he is free from desire and anger and engrossed in the bliss of the self. Exactly the same thing what I was saying. See? The sun illuminates the whole world, but is not affected by the goodness, badness or ugliness of the world. Isn't it? If he is illuminating the कीचड़, कीचड़ को क्या बोलते हैं? हाँ? Dirt. Dirt is very good word. कीचड़ is better. Slush, dirty things. Okay, dirt. The sun rays don't become dirty. If the sun rays are illuminating black color, they don't become black. Yellow color, they don't become yellow. They remain pristine, pure, ever the same, isn't it? We are also that pristine, pure, ever the same. Our vision doesn't become yellow. Whatever form it is illuminating, it doesn't take the shape of that form. If it is illuminating the colors, it doesn't become colorful. Vision remains neutral. Similarly, the consciousness, the self also, even though it is expressing through various thoughts, convictions, it is expressing through the five senses, but none of them are able to corrupt it. It is uncorrupted. It supports all of them, but is unaffected by any one of them. That is your true position. That is your true position. So here he is saying, he who has come to recognize this true position is a wise man. And it does not mean that because you have come to recognize your true position, that you will stop interacting with the world, you will put yourself into a dungeon or in a room and lock yourself up. No. No, why? I don't want the world I don't want to be exposed to the world. No, he is not afraid. He will, like a lion, he walks around in this world, but unafraid of the world because he knows who he is. Because he is established in the self. And where has that establishment come from? Initially, from control of his senses, as a result, desire and anger, as a result, and so on. And the second part, first it control the mind, so mind is not agitated anymore, it's quiet. In that quiet mind, tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam. In that quiet mind, engaging with the self, contemplating on the self rather than the objects of the world. When he comes to perceive that the sense objects are not different from him, how can they bring harm to him? When he sees that the self alone is the material which is supporting the entire creation, just like when you come to realize that the water is the material which is supporting all the waves. Waves cannot be without water. And water is not affected by appearance or disappearance of waves. Same is our position. We are that pure consciousness which is supporting, which is the substratum which is supporting the entire world of multiplicity. And whether the multiplicity is there and expressing as waking or dream or not expressing as deep sleep, it does not affect me. I am independent. I am unchanging. Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarupa. That is my true nature. Yesterday in Mundaka Upanishad it said, Sarvajna, what is that? Ajara, Amara, Amritatva. If water can drown itself or fire can burn itself, then a perfected person can become overwhelmed by sense contacts. In this way, so can water drown itself? No. Can fire burn itself? No. So a realized master or a person who is in that poise can never be afraid of the sense objects. Cannot be afraid of. Remember, under the purview of sense objects, this body also comes. This is also an object. Every sense is also an object. Every thought is also an object. Every conviction is also an object. Every emotion is also an object. He is not afraid of any one of them. Why? He is established in himself. He knows. Then why is not controlling? Now he doesn't need to control. Let the mind undo itself. It's sorting itself out. I have got nothing to do with it. What has happened? He has switched off. You switch off the fan, what happens? The fan is still going on. Switch off doesn't mean you want instant results. The fan should stop straight away. It doesn't work that way. The momentum is there. It will take some time for the momentum to come to standstill. Same way, from birth, you were thrown out into this world. That momentum you have attached yourself to so many things, become convinced of so many things, desired so many things, good or bad desires or convictions or memories. All that needs to empty themselves out of your subconscious. You have switched off. Good. But the mind is a product of its whatever you have put in. Now it needs to empty itself. It will take some time. Let it. You keep watching. Because it is emptying itself. और ये thought कहाँ से आया? Oh my God, that is such a. You gave attention to the thought. फंस गए. समझे? Don't give it attention. You remain in poise. Poise means self-oriented. self-contemplating, self-brooding, not brooding outwards, brooding inwards about who am I. These examples are given so that we can apply that example. Acha, water cannot drown itself, so how can I drown myself? So why should I be afraid of anything? If a person becomes completely absorbed in self, then know without a doubt that his wisdom has become steady. So, you're not just having a glimpse, you're not touching and running away, touching and going back, touching and going back. Like what some people, as some people say. They come to the satsang, everything is clear, go out of satsang, after 2 days everything is gone. Then another satsang, then again everything is clear, then again they go out for, again like that fan which is slowing down, the knowledge is also winding down. Then again one dose, and the week passes. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. एक बार पकड़ लो और get established and then it's over. Then you come to satsang or don't come to satsang, it doesn't matter because you're continuously in satsang with yourself, without a thought. Whether thought comes or not, it's secondary. But you are not, you are continuously being yourself. That is the whole purpose of coming to satsang. It's not feel good moment. Feel good moment comes from eating also. Feel good moment comes from movie also. Feel good moment comes from driving also. Right now feel good moment is because of the cataract operation also. Everything is clear. But it's temporary. And in this way, रागद्वेष वियुक्तैस्तु विषयानिन्द्रियैश्चरन् आत्मवश्यै विधेय आत्मा प्रसादम अधिगच्छति. And we looked at this verse just now, and 65th verse we'll look at it in our next class. We'll read this verse and conclude. प्रसादे सर्वदुःखानां हानिरस्योपजायते प्रसन्नचेतसो ह्याशु बुद्धिपर्यवतिष्ठते. ॐ पूर्णमदा पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ॐ. Just sit quietly for a few moments. Hari Om.